These days, there are billionaires spread all across the world. In fact, 178 people reached billionaire status in 2020 alone. But which region can claim the most billionaires? And how did they make their sensational fortunes? Today, we're learning about the richest person on every continent, Antarctica. Obviously, it's extremely difficult to establish the richest person in Antarctica because the barren landscape has no permanent population and no businesses. But if we give a generous definition to the richest on each continent, then Carnival CEO Arnold Donald technically qualifies because his business offers numerous Antarctic cruises. Although no one knows Donald's exact net worth, it is estimated between $50 and $100 million. Before working at Carnival, Donald worked for many years with Monsanto. Donald became CEO of Carnival in 2013 and has since helped it double its valuation. Its current market cap is over $30 billion, down from a high of $51 billion before the pandemic. Of course, COVID-19 was extremely bad for the travel and tourism industry, but after suffering some initial losses, Carnival's stock price has recovered. I personally prefer to cruise on a private yacht, but I suppose a commercial yacht is the next best thing. Africa. Aliko Dangote is worth $11.5 billion, making him the richest person in Africa. The majority of his wealth comes from an 85% stake in Dangote Cement, which he founded in Nigeria in 1977. His conglomerate, the Dangote Group, owns many other businesses like the Dangote Sugar Refinery and Dangote Flour. With more than 11,000 employees, it is the largest conglomerate in Africa. Dangote has partnered with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in order to eradicate polio and other infectious diseases. He has a passion for philanthropy and is extremely proud of his home country, Nigeria. In the past year, he's donated more than $500,000 to stop the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Though he is only the 162nd richest person on Earth, Africa's population is set to grow exponentially, and many other countries are making huge investments in infrastructure, meaning that his cement company will be more in demand than ever before. South America. Jorge Paulo Lemon is not very well known outside of his native Brazil, but with a net worth of $17.3 billion, he is the richest person in all of South America. He got his start as an investor, but these days he is best known as a controlling shareholder in the world's biggest beer conglomerate, AB InBev. This massive company owns a vast majority of the biggest beer brands, including Budweiser, Stella Artois, Beck's, and Goose Island. He also owns major stakes in Tim Hortons, Burger King, and Kraft. The 81-year-old seems to be enjoying life as he kicks back in his mansion located in Zurich, Switzerland. Lemon was able to overcome hardship when his father tragically passed away in a bus accident when Jorge was only 14 years old. But Lemon decided to channel his grief into hard work, and he excelled in school, eventually attending Harvard, which was a rare feat for a youth in Brazil. Harvard represented Lemon's first time in the United States, and even though it was difficult, he managed to preserve and become the world-renowned billionaire he is today. Oceania. Gina Rinehart is the richest person in Oceania. She is by far the wealthiest person in her home country of Australia and the 64th richest overall, with a net worth of $24.5 billion. Though Rinehart has investments in many different industries, the majority of her wealth came from mining. Rinehart dropped out of university in order to work for the company her father founded, Hancock Prospecting. However, Rinehart developed the company from a $75 million enterprise into a $16 billion company. Of course, Rinehart's net worth rises and falls dramatically with the price of metals, particularly iron, which makes up the majority of her mining portfolio. But Rinehart also understands the importance of electric vehicle technology and its insatiable appetite for lithium batteries. As a result, she's made a big investment in lithium mining recently, which may increase her fortune exponentially in the future. I've always found that the best investors have an uncanny way of predicting the future. In addition to mining, Rinehart owns Australia's third largest cattle producer, which oversees massive farms across the country. Rinehart is also currently the 8th wealthiest woman in the world. Asia. Mukesh Ambani may not be a household name, but he is easily the richest person in India and in all of Asia. The Yemeni-born Indian businessman is worth $81.4 billion, making him the 10th wealthiest person in the world. Ambani has had his hands in a wide variety of industries, from telecoms to oil and gas. When he was just a boy, his father started a trading company that specialized in spices and textiles. By the time Ambani had finished university, he was ready to help with the family business. By this time, Reliance Industries Limited, his father's corporation, had begun working in the petrochemicals and refining business, which gave them enough capital to fund Jio, which is still one of the biggest telecom companies in India. This was timed perfectly with the increasing popularity of cell phones and the growth of the Indian middle class. Suddenly, people had much more money to spend on luxury items like cell phones, and Ambani was there to capitalize on all of it. Ambani is also renowned for owning one of the most impressive homes on the planet. Antilla is a 27-story mansion in central Mumbai. The home itself cost over $2 billion to construct, making it the most expensive home on the planet. The house requires a staff of 600 and includes a jacuzzi, helipads, and a 160-car garage, among many other features. Needless to say, Ambani is doing very, very well for himself. Europe. Bernard Arnault is the CEO of LVMH, a massive conglomerate that owns Louis Vuitton, Tiffany & Company, Hennessy Whiskey, and many others. The French billionaire took the small fortune he inherited from his father and bought Christian Dior for $15 million in 1985. This was an extremely wise investment because Arnault is now worth $153.9 billion, making him the wealthiest person in Europe and the third wealthiest overall. Arnault surpassed Zara's Amancio Ortega in 2018 as both the wealthiest person in fashion and the wealthiest person in Europe. This move represented a symbolic victory of luxury over fast fashion. Most of LVMH's brands cater to wealthy clientele, while Zara strives to provide cheaper clothes to a larger portion of the public. Of course, I'm partial to many of LVMH's brands, like Tag Heuer watches, Princess yachts, and Dom Perignon champagne. But there's nothing wrong with Zara if that's your preference. These days, the 72-year-old billionaire spends time at his luxurious home in Paris, in addition to his massive chateau in the French countryside. Aside from this, Arnault has been known to travel all over the world for both business and pleasure. As he gets older, Arnault is stepping back from both his massively successful company and the spotlight. North America. The wealthiest person in North America is also the wealthiest person in the world. Jeff Bezos is the CEO and founder of Amazon, an e-commerce behemoth that recently branched out into cloud computing and video streaming. As customers increasingly turn to the internet for their shopping, Amazon's stock has risen astronomically, earning Bezos a net worth of $179 billion. Bezos also owns other ventures like space exploration company Blue Origin and The Washington Post. Even though Bezos is the richest person alive, he lost a quarter of his Amazon stock when he separated from his wife in 2019, officially making it the most expensive divorce in history. Bezos started Amazon out of his garage in Seattle in 1994. He survived through the dot-com bubble by constantly reinvesting in his company. Though this prevented Amazon from turning a profit for many years, Bezos is now reaping the benefits of his wise business decisions. I've always admired the way Mr. Bezos operates Amazon, though I personally like to give more to charity. So, there you have it, the richest person on every continent. What do you guys think? Is there somebody hiding away down in Antarctica that's richer than we can all believe? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip, de doodly doo.